because Jehovah built it. You can feel the spirit and positive energy. Questions asked comfortably like you're talking with family. Get ready to settle in. Wait for the show to begin. Invite a couple of friends. It's time for Unhinged.
Introduce to you Get You Home Towing, a family company with the sole purpose to get you home. Whether you need roadside assistance or transport services, we have a flatbed big enough to transport any vehicle to its destination. Our offer to you is our gratitude and great service at a much cheaper price. We are also open to transport through long distances. If you need us, all you have to do is call that number. I'll see you soon.
We back. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Y'all all right? I mean, what's really going on? Thank you so much for tuning in. You've tuned into Unhinged Live. It's your girl, Nikita Tilted Halo Hansford, sitting here with my good girlfriend, my very, very good girlfriend, Karen Sims Harrell of Twisted Threads LLC. And I know you all saw us do a brief pop-up last week, letting you know that we be back in order on tonight. And here we are with a great season opening conversation scheduled for you. I'm excited about tonight's conversation. And most importantly, I am excited about each and every one of you who've taken the time out to join us. So do us a favor. You know, we just now getting back and everything, but you know, I got to start out right. If you've enjoyed what you've received, seen, and heard here at the Unhinged Live podcast, broadcast, radio show, go ahead and share the broadcast with a friend or a family member, maybe a co-worker you've heard talk about some of the subject matter you've heard us discuss here in the past. Go ahead, become a part of the virtual tribe here at Unhinged Live. So listen, check it out. Before I get into the whole conversation and checking in with my good girlfriend, Karen Sims, on this evening, I gotta go ahead and familiarize you all with what's going to happen on tonight's broadcast. Of course, we're going to get into that favorite segment of mine. I hold it dear to my heart. We're going to give a great super fan shout out. And of course, we're going to take care of some of the church announcements. Amen. And let y'all know what's going on in the Unhinged stratosphere. All right. Does that sound good to you? So I'm going to go ahead and rewind this back. And I'm going to turn to my good girlfriend and ask, Karen, how are you tonight, sis? How was your day?
My day was amazing. Kind of quiet. So I got just enough energy to turn up just a little bit extra. I'm excited. You know, we had a weekend at the beach near the water. And for those of you who are either water signs or just love being near the beach, I'm in North Carolina, right? And so we tricked on over to South Carolina and stuck our toes in the water. That's what we did, that we could still do that in October because of the region that we're in. So I'm very, 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 very grateful for that. And then, you know, it's wedding anniversary eve. And so we thanking the Lord that for another year, the husband, the mister, and I have not killed each other. So the body count is still at 0. Everybody is still alive. Now, I don't know how y'all celebrate y'all wedding anniversaries, but we just happy that we get to wear yellow and not orange on particular days. So it's been an amazing hiatus, so many different things going on, but I'm just so super excited. I said that the last week when we came for the pop-up that we've really got a lot of amazing things and amazing people, right? Could we say that to celebrate? Because while we've been busy and we were outside, the tribe was busy and the tribe was outside. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today on how that all culminates into just all of October for right now. So I appreciate you putting a little spotlight on me and asking me how I'm doing. But as always, I got to turn this upside down and turn it right back around at you and ask you, Tilted, how you doing?
I'm doing quite well. I'm doing quite well in my shanana. I woke up this morning feeling blessed to death, so I had to put on some yellow
Love
as I
it.
went outside to face the world. Yes, ma'am. I see that frequency that you and I exist on with so many miles in between us is second to none. I am so appreciative that I'm able to hop on here and we just coordinate. We got that special mushroom vibe going on, sis.
There you
Yeah,
go.
listen, I put on yellow because I knew I had a particular training to participate in today with my job. And I had to go outside and present myself. And, I try to represent well. So when I go out, I like to take your advice, Karen, some advice you gave me years ago. Give them color.
Yes.
Give them some color. So I went on into the training and, I had to sprinkle a little bit of that tilted halo glitter in the room. And I think I left and made some fans before I left the room and exited with that. With you, look, yet another certification under my belt. I try and stay well qualified. That's me being a Virgo, that September baby thing I got going on. We be overachieving just because we can.
That is the truth.
Just because we can. So I'm excited for the overachievement vibe, like you referenced, Karen, everything that's been going on during hiatus amongst the tribe. You saw me post this beautiful photo earlier today of our girl Marisol, Girl Talk Nails. Yes, she's out here slaying the game tremendously, fabulously, making sure
a year makes. Can we just say that? What a difference a year makes when you dedicate to it.
Listen, we, like I said, and I often say when I'm trying not to tell all of y'all's testimonies, I like to try and give you all an opportunity to tell them yourselves. I'm looking forward to bring the tribe back together here on the platform so everybody can talk about what's really going on within their own individual brands. So listen, speaking of brands, Karen, we got Interstar coming up next week.
Do we?
Yes. Now,
these are exciting times.
These are exciting times as we settle in and try and bring ourselves back inside from all of the outsideness that's been happening. We are preparing for yet another extravagant event. Yes. That's right, y'all. The Unhinged Tribe has been nominated again, y'all, yet again for the Media Trailblazer Award. And I'm sure y'all saw, I flicked the flyer up there just so you will see what fabulosity will be honored and celebrated on that evening. And of course, if you know anything about the television show, The Oval, one of them Tyler Perry productions, you are very familiar with the hostess for that night, Miss Taja Simpson. Now, I was privy to make her, tangible acquaintance.
All right.
At listen, a Jacinth Headlam production right before the shutdown. I was able to go ahead and shake her hand and let her know that I am a fan of the work that I've seen her doing. And she was recently in a project that we were all able to partake on Netflix. If you watched one of the more recent Tyler Perry movies, she was one of the stars. But that's all I'm gonna say. Google her name. You're gonna find the movie on Netflix. Please go on over there and give her some watches. She's a beautiful soul. And of course, we are honoring the community of artists. And I am blessed that anything associated with my dreams is just mentioned in the room. So I'm excited. We're gonna be looking good amongst a whole bunch of other good looking people, Karen. So this will be happening Saturday, October 18th at the Archer Music Hall, located in Allentown, New Jersey. Once again,
Right
we've
here.
got the flyer there on the screen. If you're a fan or a follower of any of us here at the Tribe, you're going to see this information all over their pages as well. And of course, you know, we often make ourselves available to you all in our inboxes, but I do come with a disclaimer. Should you choose to take that route, be careful. Be very, very careful, because remember, you love the Lord, but these halos can be a little tilted from time to time. So just be careful. Come correct, because it could be whatever. All right. So
And
listen, Karen, uh,
yeah.
the sun is setting,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to be rude. I see the time is swiftly fleeting, and we
Yes.
have a wonderful conversation on scheduled on tonight. But before we get into that, listen, StreamYard, y'all know we use the StreamYard, right? They came up with all these different upgrades in the back office, and I'm like a kid in the candy store, and I'm just trying to make sure I could get to my hand claps. Can you get to the hand claps,
I
Karen?
love it. I can get to the hand claps. I promise. I
Can you
promise.
get to the drum roll?
We got drum rolls. We got head claps. What we got? We got
Can I
head
get a
claps.
drum roll? I want a
Drum
drum roll.
rolls.
It's super fan shout out time, girl.
Yeah.
Listen to the hi-hat simmer. Did you hear the simmer on the hi-hat?
I feel
Listen,
like we gotta do it. We gotta do it one more time because you very, very happy about it. Here we go.
it's
You know it's supposed to be. It's supposed to build. There we
look
go.
it. It's being extra because we are being extra. That's
Yes.
right. Lend me your ear. Lend me your ear. I've got to go ahead and issue tonight's super fan shout out, and it is a face that many of you are familiar with because you've seen it here on the platform from time to time. That's right. I am talking about security tonight. I am talking about one of the most silent, powerful folks I have ever met. But I promise you, when he speaks, everything basically stops and pays attention. I am talking about the beautiful Marisol Cologne's husband, her rib, her protector, her godsend. I am talking about none other than our brother, tribe mate, Jesus Cologne. We call him Brother G, and you heard me call him security because he is the one that makes sure when we are all out together that we are all safe. He makes sure that we stick together. He makes sure that we stay encouraged and well hydrated, I might add, because I know he made sure I was drinking my water last year when I was running around that live podcast. He wanted to make sure that as I was taking care of business, I actually sat down to take care of myself. It made me sit down and drink some water. And there's so many other stories of just how caring he is towards all of the brothers and the sisters in the tribe. So G, shout out to you. I'm grateful that I'm able to sit in your presence alongside your beautiful wife and see what God is preparing to send my way as he sends me my forever, if that be his will. Notice it has to be his will, y'all, because y'all know Miss Tilted is out here wearing yellow. That's all I'm gonna say. But G, we love you. We thank God for you.
Yes.
And I'm gonna put you on blast. Y'all know G makes some of the best flan I ever had in my life.
All right now.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Men in the kitchen. Men in the kitchen.
Hey,
Alert,
G
alert.
makes some of the best flan I've ever had in my life. So salute to you, brother. I look forward to seeing you again very, very soon. You got anything to add to that, Karen?
Listen, you said it, but I just appreciate the realness that G brings as well. You know, he is a person who will step in even when you don't ask, right? And we know a lot of people when we work with creatives, everybody is like, well, is the spotlight on? Well, not everybody, but some people will only move when the spotlight is on them. But G is okay with being behind the scenes, but a powerful, quiet force is what he is. And so we appreciate you. We love you, man. And we're happy that you allowed yourself to be snatched up and adopted by the tribe, because we are the benefactors, I always say, for the real love that he has for his family, for community. And he just out here being himself. And who can't love that? So I'm excited to be able to catch up and get some of his presence with the rest of the tribe when we all come together in another week or so. Yeah.
Oh, it's about to be another production, a whole movie. It's about to be a whole
We gonna try to act right. That's, I say try. We're gonna try to act right.
That's your disclaimer, because I know I'm not. I'm not. I'm just gonna put it out there. I am not. So listen, we got to get our guest in, because that's what y'all really are pulling up here for on tonight.
Yes.
Go ahead and huge shout out to everybody getting it in, participating there in the comments section. Shout out to you, Bejan Rhonda and Elijah Daquan, Mr. Fashion Killer himself. We looking for your outfit too, brother. We thank you for the shout out, but we want to know what you pulling up in too as well. So you bring the excitement, Fashion Killer. Yes. So listen. Y'all know you often see me hopping from one networking event to another. And, I absolutely have so much fun when I go into those rooms, but I very rarely go into those rooms and, I'm not on business. I'm always on business, even when I'm kikiing and connecting with the arts community here in the Valley. And tonight's guest is a gentleman that, like so many of you all, I heard about you before I made your physical acquaintance. And then all of a sudden he made his way into my circumference so I could see exactly what it was he was doing and bringing to the community. And I came up with my own nickname for this brother on tonight. You all are going to get to know him, but I like to refer to him affectionately in my mind as Mr. Pivot. That's right. We heard the word pivot over the last few years so much, but this brother embodied what it looks like. We got to see, and we continue to see him making strides to make sure he, leaves his stamp here, there, and wherever God would direct his feet. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you to bring him in to the room as we introduce to the Unhinged Live community. Well, we introduced to some and reintroduce to others. Yes. Brother in the craft, Mr. Alfonsa Todd of
everybody. How y'all doing? Thank you for that introduction. That's awesome.
Lights out. No,
yeah.
Listen, we are used to things like that happening, Alfonso. Mm-hmm. And when those things happen, we just say that there's entirely too much power on the line. Okay, the frequencies that got disturbed because your power, you're done connected with her power, and all of this. It's a whole conduit conversation for greatness, not only for ourselves, but for those who glean the nuggets that you'll drop during tonight's conversation. How about that, Alfonso?
No, I appreciate it. Basically, I've always wanted to have one of those clapper kind of lights with his puzzle. But what they don't tell you is that when it gets a little bit too still, you got to clap it on, clap it off. Then you got to clap it on again. So not a problem.
It's like Netflix asking, "Are you still there? Are you still watching?"
Yeah, basically, yes. But yeah, I appreciate you all bringing me on. It's an honor and a blessing for y'all to have me on. It's been a while, but it's good to be here.
Awesome. Yes. So we did have a little bit of pre-show conversation. So you ready to get into it, sir?
Oh yeah. Let's do that.
All right. So I always want to know about one's origins, so to speak. So would you mind sharing a little bit about yourself? You got, where'd you grow up? You got any brothers and sisters? You got cat, dog? Farm in the backyard?
No. Well, you know what? It's funny. I'm the oldest out of 5. I was raised in Columbia, South Carolina. Ended up in Miami for 10 years, and then I went to school at Benedict College. And my dad, he's from Alabama. My mom's from Mississippi. So I'm about as southern as you can get. But I was I was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I traveled quite a bit. And like I said, I ended up in Miami, did my 10-year stint in South Beach. I was a dancer, got into finance, and then went on the road as a healthcare consultant. So I used to travel the United States, going to different hospitals, teaching billing and coding. And after a while, I just got tired of it, being on the road a lot. I saw life passing me by, and I ended up here in the Valley at a hospital. And once the assignment was over, I decided to stay. I kind of fell in love with the Valley, Allentown in particular. I like the people, and I saw there was a lot of missing components here. When you're in Miami, you see a lot of different creative things happen. You see a lot of different ways that you can put things together for the people. And I saw that here in the Valley, that's something that we could do. So that's why I ended up staying. So it's been quite a bit. I didn't plan on staying here, but 20 years later and a 14-year-old daughter later, I found out that sometimes my plans aren't his plans. So
right now.
Yeah, so go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. That's awesome.
Oh, okay.
Stuff.
Okay.
I love that you actually,
okay. Yeah.
You tapped into a thought I had. See, this is how this happens over here at Unhinged Live. You tapped into something. You brought up your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And I am a huge fan of girl dads.
Mm.
What has your experience been like raising such a lovely young woman?
Ooh, I'll tell you, Talis was and I know this is going to sound funny, but I had always been teaching or preaching about legacy. And so even before she was born, I always knew there was going to be somebody or someone. And I'll be honest, I didn't really think I was going to have any children. By the time I turned 25, I figured if I don't have any kids by then, I'm just going to be that favorite uncle. Well, lo and behold, at 35, almost 40, here she came. And she came stepping out, had all, 10 fingers, 10 toes. And I said, Lord, all I want my daughter to be is healthy, smart, and just, have a good head on her shoulders and beautiful. And that's what he gave me. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you, everything. I'm always posting about her on my Facebook. We do a lot of road trips together. Our most recent one, we went to Miami, and I showed her some of my old hangouts. This was her first year going to homecoming. She's 14 going, she just started high school. I don't know where the time went. I'll be honest with you. I was there when she was born, when she first came from her mother, and I held her, and and it was funny because I used to have a radio station, and her mom used to listen to me, and she used to have the radio right there. So as soon as she was born and I spoke to her, her eyes got big and looked at me. She turned her head. So me and her have been like freaking frack for years now. So yeah, that's my heart, my baby Bob.
That's a beautiful thing to see.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of your siblings, how many brothers? How many sisters?
Okay. I'm going to say their names because there's 5 of us. There's me, Alfonso, my sister, Ujima, my brother, Melchizedek, my baby sister, Odessa, and then my baby brother, Kahoya. So there's 2 brothers and 2 sisters.
Okay, so very balanced. I asked that question because I wanted to find your the words are escaping me now, but what it was that surrounded you to help give you what you needed to input into your daughter, your legacy, the feminine energy, I guess, is what I'm looking for.
Well,
because
this,
I've run into
yeah.
a lot of men who have daughters, and I've often heard them say they don't know how to raise young women.
It's in you. I've had a lot of life experience. I've been on my own since I was 16. So I tell people God protects the fools and the children. I'm much too old to be a child. So you're talking about you having a praying grandmother. Yeah, I had a bunch of people praying for me because I was literally down in what they call Sodom and Gomorrah, or I say South Beach, and I was running. And I remember I was out dancing, partying, loved out, just being out there. I'm from South Carolina, trying to make up for lost time. And I remember it just hit me. And my best friend Vince, he's also from South Carolina also. And we were out there just dancing, talking. I said, Vince, we're out here partying and dancing, talking to all these girls and stuff. I think we need to really think about what we're doing. And he's like, well, what do you mean? He's like, I was like, well, we're out here talking. We're just messing around, blah, blah, blah. But we really need to start thinking about what we're doing because one day we may have children ourselves. And he was like, oh, man, are you crazy? I said, no, man, I'm being serious. So then and it just, then that was in the back of my head. And then I went on to other adventures. Come to find out, here I have a daughter and he ends up having 3.
Such is life.
Yes, it is. So my thing has always been, I tell people God has a sense of humor. I got a lot of questions for him. But it was a blessing. I tell a lot of men, when you have a child, if you're doing it right, it makes you stronger as a man. It takes you to the next level. And I'm not talking about dudes who just see whatever. I'm talking about really having the heart and trying to instill something into their child. It makes you stronger. I don't know what it is, but when I had my daughter Tyler, you do go to the next level of manhood. And that's what it did. It gave me strength to do what I'm doing right now, because now it's not like you didn't have purpose for your life, but when you have a child, it gives you an extra sense of purpose. So so you get the strength from, I don't know what to call it, a spiritual strength or whatever, but it comes from you having a child and that connection. And as you're doing for that child is also building you up for you to do what you got to do. And so when Tyler was born and everything, it just basically made me know that I had a lot of work to do to leave her the legacy that I want. So that's basically what keeps me moving on, moving forward.
I love that. It is funny that you say you are the oldest of 5. And I have 5 children as well. And, you always hope, right, that all of the work that you're putting into your children will manifest itself in a wonderful way. But I'm always intrigued by the relationships that are forged, right? The good and the bad parts of the sibling relationships, right? They come with ups and downs from where I'm sitting. From what I know. But when you were mentioning like, okay, I'll be okay with just being the best uncle, right? Hey, uncle, I'm gonna come through. And then there was another plan. How has that family relationship also kind of influenced you with your relationship with your daughter? Not only you being the oldest, but just all of the rest of the family, and how that plays a part in the dad that you are today.
Well, I mean, basically, Talis has always been special. I mean, we put in work, me and her mom, and basically we both knew we had a job. Like I said, I've always been talking about instilling things in her, instilling the best of me. And she's, I'll be honest with you, she's more of a bohemian. She has a mind of her own. She's never been kind of like the wild child. She, I take her to her family. She loves them. She's very adventurous, very independent. She knows she's been going with me on my business trips and in my office from the day she was born. To be honest, there's pictures of me with clients and she's sitting right on my right side of her little baby seat. I think she had more of an impact on me than the other way around, to be honest with you. Yeah, I really took it seriously. I know that children are a gift and a blessing, and I know that when I see other people with children, I'm very fortunate that Talis is Talis, but she's very well mannered, very well spoken, everything that I could have prayed for. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, so that my family, they love her. They have their kids, her cousins, and everything, and we all just we all come together. Unfortunately, that we're all spread out. I live here in up north. My other sister lives in Memphis. My other sister lives in Texas. My baby brother, he lives down in where's he at? Oh, he's over in Tennessee, and then my other brother is Maryland. So it's hard for us to get together. We always say, well, who's doing the family reunion? And we always I keep saying we need to hurry up and have it, because my dad gets mad. He said the only time we all come together is if someone passes away. And I'm like, you're right. So we're trying to do better with that. But yeah, so yeah, that's it's family. Even though we're spread out, we have a really tight bond. I know people don't understand it. We're not the family that gets together every Christmas or things like that, but we're the family that when things go down, we come together and we pick up just like it was yesterday.
That's beautiful. That's a strong bond to be able to do that. Now, one thing that I picked up on, Alfonso, as you were talking about your transition to the Valley, and you were talking about some gaps, right, for creative. Some things that you were seeing like, oh, wow, we could possibly use some of that, whether it was the Florida South Beach swag up here. If y'all bought the weather, I might still be there, but that's another story.
I understand.
It sparked a thought for me. Can you talk a little bit about, what kind of intrigued you as you were coming into the Valley, and what opportunities you saw for kind of filling in any gaps, crevices that you were like, yeah, we need more of this here?
Well, when I first came to the Valley, I liked it because of the opportunity that I saw. Like you said, I saw a lot of missing components. At that time here in the Valley, I think they had a Mayfair and Music Fest. Those were like the two biggest events they had here. And me being from Miami, I'm used to something jumping off every weekend or even during the middle of the weekend, something for the people, something for the community. And they just didn't have it here. So once I saw there were gaps, I started visiting different cities around the area, Nazareth, Whitehall, Catasauqua, Allentown, Bethlehem, Easton, and I saw they were limited. And so here I am going and talking to the city people, and they were like, who is this dude coming up from Miami? And I was just like, okay, well, A, I'm trying to make a living, and B, I just need to know how much is it going to cost to block this street off and do what I need to do. Now, at that time, because there were, very limited people, nobody was really doing much. We're talking about almost 20 years ago. I just kind of slid in it like fish in water. I knew how to, first of all, find out how much things cost. And once I found that out, it was off to the races. I went and stuck to the zoos and to the businesses and to the sponsors, and I just started bringing people together. And then, of course, promoting it to bring out the community and make it citywide. So the very first event I ever had here in Allentown was called Upward Bound Allentown. It wasn't the program. I later on found out there was a program called Upward Bound, but this was about just uplifting the city of Allentown, Pennsylvania. It didn't have the best reputation, but I felt like the people who were here deserved more than just short summers and long winters, because in my opinion, the summers here are so short. It's like the summer is only like 3 months, and then we're back into the cold, and the cold here, it don't want to leave. So I was like, we should be doing something every weekend. And since I thought that, I was like, well, the best I can do is do my event. And it was a 2-day event. Well, we first started off with 1-day event. We did it for 3 years, and it was music, fashion, DJ and music, culture. We had guest speakers, and people just came out the woodwork because Allentown is a very dense city, and again, my big belief was if I support the community, then the community will support me, and that's what happened. I started doing it every year. It grew and grew and grew. The biggest one we had, I think we had about 2,000-3,000 people, and I started then going out and venturing out to different townships. I started doing jazz festivals. I did one for 4 years in Nazareth. I did the fall festivals out in Whitehall. I ended up doing Comic-Cons out in South Mall near Emmaus for about 5 years, and out in Palmer Park Mall out in Easton. And I just did that. And next thing I know, that the time just flew. I'll be honest with you. I was doing so many events, and they were all good. They were all quality. Never had a complaint. Everybody got their money. They were always crowded. The least amount of people I ever had at one was 500. But the thing I didn't do was put my name on them because it was never about me. I used to just love the fact that people were coming out. And to me, it was all about the community and basically just creating something like an event that would inspire people just for one moment, just to just have something to do, and no problems, no issues, just good food, good people, have a reunion with their friends, and it just went on. 20 years literally flew for me. Here we are. I was just recently picked up by York, PA, to do their events. They actually picked me out. I wrote a RFP, and they picked me, and I've been doing their events out there for the past 6 months. We did a Mother's Day event. We brought out 10,000 people, which was amazing to me because that's my thing. It was like, okay, I like this. It was 10,000 people with me. Shout out to ALRIIIIGHTTT, and shout out to Mark Goods. We did it. It was a great event. 10,000 people. The mayor there loved it. Everybody, it was just that the whole city just rose up, and they couldn't get enough of it. Nice. And we just recently also did their art show. Now I'm back in Allentown, and now we're basically putting things together, and I'm getting ready for 2026.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 2026. So so what I've learned from you thus far in this conversation is you like to be outside. Period.
Always.
Mr. Outside, meet Mrs. Outside.
Now listen. A lot of people think I'm like, hey, he out there, da da da. But this body has not danced in years, not the way I used to. So a lot of times, all I can do is go out there and nod my head and just enjoy the fact it's the new generation coming through now, and I can appreciate that. So it's a good thing.
Wow, I had to tap into this because you also are pretty nice with it on the ones and twos, sir.
Oh yeah. What is
the
it? DJ?
The DJ. Now I'm finna jack up your DJ name.
Oh, okay. I won't let you do that. It's DJ Osno. Ozno.
I thought I was right then because I was like, it's Osno, right?
Yeah, and it comes from my name Alfonso. So I just kind of flipped the little letters around. Okay. Now, DJ Osno was born from the fact that I was doing the events and COVID was coming, and everybody knows if you're, I guess if you went through COVID, that was a crazy time. Unfortunately, something that I hope never comes again. But because COVID was coming, I could not do the events anymore. In fact, it was against the law to do events because they didn't want people, in close proximity. Mm-hmm. So what I did was I was like, okay, a brother still needs to make money. I got a daughter, I got bills. So what can I do? So I had DJ equipment that when I used to dance and do things out on South Beach. And I decided to create a moniker for myself, DJ Osno. And so it wasn't going to be like one of these regular DJs. And when I say regular, shout out to DJ Menace and all the other ones here. They're outstanding, but I also realized I was older now, and there was no way I was going to be out in the clubs. How about put your hands in the air, wave them around? They're like, it's a totally new generation at this time. So I had to create a character, in which I did, because again, I was into creating Comic Cons and comic books and stuff. So I created a character called DJ Osno, and it was based on a Victorian character, because I've written a couple of books, and this was a graphic novel I had created about a father, mother, and daughter that were out in the woods. He was a Victorian teacher that unfortunately got caught up with some monsters, and they kidnapped the wife and the daughter, and he was out there alone, and he was traveling around, and he was looking for him. Well, he found an amulet, which was like a dimension traveling amulet. He ends up going to different dimensions and time, and he finds the daughter, finds the wife. They end up here in the 21st century, and he's in New York, and somebody steals the amulet. So he's stuck in New York. So he has to get a job. So what does he do? He DJs. So I just brought him out the pages out of my book, and I brought him into reality. And now here we are in COVID, which was our reality. And I decided to start making phone calls to different fairs and festivals about performing. And believe it or not, I started putting together my own tours. I did 3 tours that I put together. They were 10-city tours, 10 cities that I traveled to: Buffalo, Hannibal, Missouri, where a couple of places I went to. And I would go there, and I had a little costume, my top hat, and like a steampunk outfit. And I would go out there for 3 days, and they would pay me, and I would eat. That was in the contract, and they gave me a hotel room. I was loving it. It was great. And I was a DJ for 3 years. And I still DJ too. I still have a couple of places I still DJ, but DJ Osno, I have merchandise and all kinds of things. Shout out to Jay-Z, the company. That's my sister. She made my t-shirts and my shot glasses and she did all my merch, and it was great. It was a good experience. I loved it.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Y'all hearing why I refer to this brother as Mr. Pivot, okay? Because one thing he gonna do is he gonna get it for himself. So check it out. You got something new on the horizon. This is basically the entire purpose of you being here. You are the most foundational artist. You are the artist foundation. Because the foundation typically has a number of different bricks in it to make it sturdy and steady. So this is where I absolutely agree with your company name, the Artist Foundation. What sparked you to birth the Artist Foundation?
It was a 2-part situation. I had gone, shout out to ALRIIIIGHTTT company. That's Talisha Smith.
That's our sister. Shout out to Talisha.
Yeah. So we had gone out to Miami with a client, and unfortunately we saw some devastating things happen to some of the young artists. And there is money there, but I also saw there was a lot of predatory things that happened, and not just happened, but are happening. And I've always thought, even when I lived in Miami, young kids coming off the bus, looking for opportunity, getting caught up with a predator or some situation. And I just wanted to create a safe space. And I know enough people that if there were like any beginning artists, singers, dancers, things, whatever, that we could give them the opportunity. We could, give them the promotion, marketing, a lot of different services. I don't say that I'm a manager. I don't manage people, but I like to give people the tools that they need in order to assist them to get where they need to go or where they want to go. So that's where I came up with the Artist Foundation. I wanted it to be a safe space for beginning artists to go. But I also have a heart for entrepreneurship. So I also create opportunities for people who are, especially now in this climate that we're in, with people losing their jobs. I'm trying to help people get into different skill sets so that they can get through turmoil when it comes to being jobless and they want to maybe start a new career path. I have nothing against the cubicle. I just believe that, there's some people, if you put your mind to it, you can create different ways to make income. And those are the people that I'm kind of looking for. Those who have the startups, those who are seasoned, those who have a dream, those who are really believing in creating legacy for their children or their children's children. Those are the people that I'm looking for to help them, because I know what it's like. I've been through it. And what I'm doing, I'm up, like I said, I have graphic novels I've written, but now I'm creating ebooks and doing things like I've got 4 ebooks now, one on cultivating sponsorship, cultivating vendors, cultivating clientele. And the 4th one I just finished the day before yesterday. It's about 20 different ideas that you can use in order to create events, festivals, and celebrations. So I want to show people. So we're doing kind of like courses. I walk with people every step of the way. I've been doing this for 20 years. There's nothing that I haven't seen, and I just want to show other people how to do it. It's not as hard as it sounds, but it's not as easy as it seems either. There really is a science to event coordination.
Yes, there really, really is, and I'm grateful that you are such an unselfish soul. As I'm reading the statement you shared, and what you just transmitted verbally here on the show, the last line of this is, "Let's talk with no obligation."
Right.
Y'all ain't getting that from too many folks out here, because I promise you ask somebody to talk to them for 10 minutes these days, they want $75. And sometimes I believe we shoot ourselves in the foot when we enter the game with a gimme mentality, especially when we're at this big age. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you've got to, really, just keep hold of the knowledge that every time you let something go, you really do make space for something more to come right on in. So you're actually having an event in your space soon. Is that correct?
Yes,
Alfonsa?
yes. Me and a brother of mine, Ben Nicholson. He owns BN Consultation. He also has a company called the Hub Business Center, and on October 16th, which is next week, next Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to have refreshments, music, and basically a tour. We have a podcast location, as well as information on different events and things we're going to be doing for 2026. And we're also bringing in a lot of our businesses and some of our clients who will be coming and doing some exhibitions and just basically networking. I'm a really good proponent of networking. It's so needed nowadays in order to make things happen. A lot of people think it's about, what you know and who you know. But the thing is, you got to get to know people. And the only way that's going to happen is that you got to come out and have these conversations. And I say this to a lot of the young people, and I try to explain that, that as much as I love the telephone, that's not where real business is done. Real business will always have to be with the situation when it comes to, conversation, eye to eye, and straightforward ideas. And that's where we are right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm loving it. I am absolutely loving it. And you already know we finna connect on some things, because you know what happens when vision connects with vision.
Yes.
More greatness happens.
More greatness.
So again, I want to go ahead and say thank you to everyone who's in the comment section, keeping it lit. We got our girl Marisol in the comment streets right now. And I believe I saw Queen Shelby Lawson of Lawson Accessories do a love buy a little bit earlier here in the show. Listen, I could keep talking to you forever, Alfonso.
I will talk to you, but I do appreciate the I want to tell y'all, it's been a while since I've actually gotten into the spotlight. I've been very low key for the last couple of years, basically just re-energizing myself. It's a lot of work, and I'm sure you both know that it's a lot of energy that you put out to do things like this, the radio and the magazine and the events. but I'm grateful that you all recognized and invited me to come out here on your platform. It's definitely an honor and a pleasure to be here.
Well, listen, and that's it. I always wait. We always wait for the right moments in time. And I'm grateful that God has absolutely been answering my prayer, because I'm like, where the men folk at? I need to talk to some of the men folk in the community.
Oh, we're out here, but we're just busy working. That's all.
Yeah, we can't find y'all because y'all in the back.
Yeah,
Moving
we're in the trenches.
y'all building sets. Y'all.
Yeah, we are in the trenches. Believe me, we are in the trenches, and that's, there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm gonna let you know, I know some great brothers now who are making things happen, and they, you know, shout out to Mark Good and also Paz. Shout
Look,
out, they're
I'm
doing some
already
great
hollered
things
at
out
Mark. Mark is like, no, I ain't even trying to.
Well, I'll give him his roses, because yeah, I've seen them. They've been a good people. They've actually, you know, through some times they've been there. So I will tell you, they're really good people.
Yes. You know, I'm not gonna tell your business, but I did see one of your situations where the brothers pulled up and showed out for you.
No,
Because you
all
shared
right.
it online. Yeah. That's part of how I get things done. I may not say much, but part of how I've been graced to do this thing that we do here is that God allows me to see what I need to see in the moment. As I'm like, Lord, who next? Because this platform has zero, truly, it really doesn't have anything to do with me. My whole heart for Unhinged Live and all of my co-hosts, my tribe family, is that God's people do amazing things with just the tools they've been birthed with outside of the four walls of the church. There are so many different forms of ministry. And you are a master builder, Alfonso. So thank you for bringing your gifts to so many of us in the community. I'm grateful that you said yes when I extended you the invitation to come here. Thank you for stepping into the sunshine with Karen and myself on this evening. We really do appreciate you. Before we transition into the next wave of this joy tsunami, Alfonso, do you mind sharing with our viewers and our listeners where and how they can connect with you, whether it be email, these social media streets, if you want to put your math on blast? How can folks connect with you?
Well, my office is located in downtown Allentown, the Hamilton Business Center. I'm on the second floor. Please call me at 484-554-7258, or you can email me at djozno@gmail.com, and that's spelled DJAYOZNO@gmail.com. Or a lot of times y'all will see me walking up and down Hamilton. If you see me, just honk at me. That's like a lot of people do. That's my domain, walking up and down Hamilton. I've been doing that since I had Talus. So yeah, they recognize me because
I thought I recognized your lot.
Yep. I used to walk up and down. That was my signature. They would see me every morning walking up, because I used to live on 4th and Turner. So I would have Talus in her bassinet, and we'd walk up, and she'd be right here in my hand from 4th and walk up to 11th to my office here at the Hamilton Business Center. She'd be with me. People, and that's where a lot of people say, I remember you used to be with that baby. I was like, yeah, that was me.
So I just got to download. All right. If you were to give a word of advice to someone just beginning their entrepreneurial endeavors, what would that advice be?
Do your research, and remember, the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. And when I say risk, I'm not talking about just you do a, devil may care kind of situation. Do a calculated risk. I know a lot of people in these days and times may be uncertain about what's going on, but I promise you, these are the times that it's best right now, right here, for you to go out and start putting your flag out, to pinpoint it. You see, I'm very proud of a lot of us as Black people, because I'm seeing us do so much business on the internet, taxes, truck drivers, and they're starting their own companies, everything. I mean, it's amazing. And I think that this is kind of a wave, or maybe even a trend, that we're all about this entrepreneurship, and I'm loving it. So if you have an idea, research the idea, go through it thoroughly, go to ChatGPT, go to the library. And then once you find out what could be all the possibilities of what could happen, if it worked, also think about what could happen if it doesn't work. But the bottom line is, don't focus on that doesn't work, focus on the positive, and and just know that you have to know, are you really willing to do what it takes to take your business and make something out of nothing? Because that's basically what you're doing. I mean, and that's what we do. It's in our DNA. We make something out of nothing. And that's why we're great people.
That's right. Kings and queens, we absolutely are. With creativity in our very DNA. So check it out. Kind of want to get a little playful with you here, Alfonso. And I want you to tag Karen in, because Karen's sitting over there looking cute with that yellow flower in her hair. I can't. And I think she's sitting over there looking cute.
All that they're saying. So, Alfonso, you are very timely with your wording and the things that you are doing. And, I may or may not be rearranging schedules to see if I can pull up. Okay. What we say?
All right. Come on. I tell people, come on through. Come through. Come through.
You already know it's a lot of coordination going on here. So listen. This is one thing we didn't touch on. And I'm, you did a quick question for Prolific Radio this past.
Yes.
And I'm grateful to be one of the caller inners to answer that question. Would you mind posing that question? And y'all out there in the comment streets, y'all feel free to answer his question, because I know he asked me about some things that I do. I'm not going to ask the people the question. I want you to ask the people the question, Alfonso. This is the mic toss, actually. This is a mic toss. I'm tossing the mic from Unhinged Live to Prolific Radio right now.
Okay.
You're usually on our side.
Well, first of all, for those who don't know what Prolific Radio is, because I know it's been 20 years, back in the day, and I can't believe I'm saying back in the day, I had an internet radio station called Prolific Radio. It was created because I felt that we were not getting, how can I say, the news or the information, or had a good platform when it came to the urban areas. And when I say urban, I don't mean ghetto. I mean just people here in the valley. I don't think they were getting the whole story. And so I started giving people a voice. I started going to the businesses that were not asked. I started talking to the people who I felt were invisible. And I started, just basically putting it out there. And because it was organic and people felt like this was a platform, people started believing that Prolific Radio was an urban station. People started loving it. And I was surprised on how fast it grew. We lasted for 7 years. So yeah, I can do that. You want me to ask you some questions? I can do that.
do Prolific Radio with me and Karen, but focus on Karen.
Okay, I can do that. So as far as like do a radio with you, like ask you some questions.
Yeah.
Kind of like that. Okay, I can do that. All right, Karen, you're from North Carolina, correct?
I'm from New Jersey. I currently live in North Carolina.
Okay. So was that one of your top places that you wanted to move to when you when you left New Jersey? Because I know, like you said, the cold up here is kind of silly, but
yeah. So what had happened, Alfonso, was there was a very, very big snowstorm, And I lived 10 minutes away from where I worked, but it took me 3 hours. And so I knew in that moment, it was at that moment,
Time to
I
go.
knew that was going to be my last winter in the Lehigh Valley. And it is not for the, I love the people. I lived in Pennsylvania for almost 15 to 17 years, and I've been down here in North Carolina, but it was North Carolina, Georgia, Texas, and somewhere else. Like Maryland was like borderline, but I was moving for sundresses and wedges. That's all I
All
knew.
right, hey, you know what? I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you.
Goal. That was the goal. Nobody told me that in North Carolina, though. You will
Mm.
wear the sundresses and wedges, but you also gonna wear that parka. You gonna wear them boots.
Yes, you will.
And, you get every season here. But that was one of the big things. And then kind of the environmental and political climate kind of was like, okay, well, where do I see myself staying for a little while? So yeah,
I got you.
It's fed the need for sundresses and wedges. So
all right, yeah, that's good right there. That's good. I bet I know what winter storm. That probably was the Valentine's Day winter storm.
Probably.
I remember there because I was out in it, and I had a little company at that time, and I ended up getting caught out in it, and I was under somebody's car, and I was like, I knew then, just like you had the epiphany. I said, I'll never be out here again.
I said, Lord, if you will it. I didn't say, Lord, if it be your will. I said, Lord, if you will it, right? Pick a spot.
Let me out.
Let me out. I did my time.
Well, just to let you know, I had 1 foot back in Miami when I found out Talis was there, and I was like, Lord, I don't like this, and it was like, okay, well, so my thing was, I'm here, and I remember when I took Talis to Miami, she was like, Daddy, the weather, the beaches, the food, the people. Oh my gosh. She said, this is beautiful. Why did you ever leave here? And I said, I had to have you.
All of that. So, there you go.
Yeah, all of that. Yeah. So I said, yeah, but I'm glad. It seems like you're very happy there. So that's great. Nikita.
Yes.
All right. So here you are with the tilted the tilted halo right here on Unhinged. What was your inspiration, and how did you and Karen come together for this great program?
Listen, this is a story all about how my life got blessed turned right side now.
Y'all gonna do the Will Smith on me? Okay, I'll take that.
You already know. This Karen, the connection with Karen was truly divine. That was a total God move. I try to keep it as brief as possible, but she and I were basically transplants here in the Lehigh Valley area right about the same time. And I landed at our local faith community, our church, a little bit before she did. And they snatched me up and, had me in the position of choir director. They put me on the leadership team with a bunch of amazing people. So fast forward one Tuesday night rehearsal, this young lady comes in with a bunch of children with her. And I just, I'm a natural reader of people. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, oh, she knew. I ain't never seen her around these parts. And, I'm very welcoming. Anybody who's ever served with me in ministry, they know I'm going to always love on you. I'm going to hug you. And I didn't just extend open arms to Karen, but I extended them to her children. And they all looked at me like, lady, if you don't back up off me. What I saw was a family that came seeking God, seeking community. And over the course of time, it was just something about Karen. And one day I literally heard the Holy Spirit say, yo, she need to be your friend. And the truth of the matter is, I don't really like dealing with people and establishing new relationships because it can be tiresome to your soul if it don't turn out right. But I trusted that still small voice, and I just approached her in that choir rehearsal as she was surrounded by them boys that was a bit taller than me at the time. I said to her, I said, "Hey, you know, Holy Spirit said, you know, you supposed to be my friend. Will you be my friend?" It's like we was fifth grade on the at recess on the playground, but I hit
Lovely.
her
That's
in
lovely.
the church in the chapel at choir rehearsal. So that began the birthing of something that happened so naturally. We always ended up in the same environments as far as where we were serving in ministry at the time. We started in the choir together. The next thing you know, here we are side by side, pretty much in dramatic arts ministry there at the church. And there was a lot of training and time that we spent together behind the scenes preparing to bring ministry to people. And it was just something about Karen that was very freeing for my soul. You know how you run into them people that you know you could just trust with all your money? Well, Karen has always been one of those people for me. And as we began to bond and grow together, it just became something where it's like we ain't even got to say nothing. You see, we both got on some form of yellow, and she all the way down there.
The connection.
The power of connection and divine sisterhood. We took ministry and seriously. We've sang together, we've cried together, we have mourned together, we have built together in more than one space. And before all of that, all of the things that we've been able to do together, baby, we love us some God. We gonna pray together.
All right.
First and foremost.
Awesome.
And I think for the two of us, out of all of the things that we've done together, ministry wise, I think one of my most favorite seasons being Karen's friend was a time we served together and are still serving together with the Sister Friend prayer circle. We started out as Fierce Divas Pray. Shout out to our fierce and fearless leader, the great pastor, minister, Dr. Kiana Jones. Yes, we can never say her name in just one piece. It's got to be grand because
whole
she
name
matches it. God bless Kiana for bringing us together and selecting us to be on the advisory board of that ministry that God gave her. And mind you, she was younger than us. There's a message.
Wow. Okay.
Message in that. Kiana is younger than us, but Kiana picked us up because she needed us too, just like I needed Karen in that moment. She saw something in us that she needed, but she didn't realize how much we needed her. So we've done a lot together. And that's a little bit of the story about how Keita and Karen became best friends. And I'm sure you saw we came up last week and we started talking about this book project we got coming forth.
Yes. Tell us about Karen, the book.
Listen, it is divine sisterhood. That very thing you just heard me speaking about just now. We, we have taken the charge to write our story of friendship. You know, the frequencies again. We often are living through the exact same thing. So when I call my friend to just vent, what is it, Karen? This segue to release the floor to each other. Girl, it's funny you said that because I'm going through
every time,
every single time, and about 95% of those conversations end with some form of radical prayer. I mean, warfare prayer.
Warfare. I call it combustible prayer. Because you know how you something is bubbling and we don't have regular conversation. So I'm a rewind just a little bit. So the one thing that Tilted didn't mention was it wasn't just the kids. You know, when we say the apple don't fall far from the tree, we were friendly, but when somebody come up to you like this woman did me, like I'm supposed to be your friend. All right, who sent you? Like, girl.
Exactly. Yeah.
I ain't got no money. What you want? What do you want? Okay, like what is this about? But she
What's
knew
the
how
angle?
to connect with me because she was like, Holy Spirit just said, like, I need to know you. I need to be your friend. But that first initial thing, it was like, okay, who sent you? I don't know about that. But, it's one of those things that the purpose of this book is really not just to tell the story about literally the blood, the sweat, the tears, the mourning, the prayer, and the sisterhood, but it's also to help people have the tools to move into spaces, right, where they can prepare themselves to receive love. And so, as Tilted mentioned, she was good on loving on me, but she needed some of that too, right? And so, a lot of times, as being strong women and strong women of color, we just getting stuff done, right? We live in life.
Oh, yeah.
We're raising our children. We're making sure the community is straight. And then there is a need that sometimes becomes the last thing on our list, or it just is not priority in our formative years, right? Like sisterhood, we knew how to do it when we were, 15 and 20. But somewhere between 25 and 35, it's like, okay, knock that whole side down. I don't want to be bothered with any of those folks. So it's got layers to it. So as we continue to build and grow, we realized that this was something very special that everybody didn't have, right? And even the franchise of the Real Housewives everywhere, they kind of fueled the fire for us to say, oh, okay, well, listen, we need to give people something else to see. Genuine sisterhood will build, genuine sisterhood will help heal, and it'll be a safe place for growth, right? And so one of the things that I'll end with, Alfonso, is that as much as we pray together, we will read each other in a minute. I need you to know, be like, if you don't get your entire life together, like, because we'll be in our moments where it's like, no, I'm not doing that right now. And yet you will. And so to have that encouragement is always that thing that pushes us to, as Tilted has said, to pivot, to pick up the next thing, to make sure, we got all of the things together. So it's been a journey. We're still doing it. God is in it, divine sisterhood. And so we're excited for the writing, but we're excited for the community that it'll build, for the next layer and the legacies of sisterhood for those people for those women who don't even know they need it, right?
Right.
Force the sisterhood before we needed it. I think that's the important part. Like, if we was just chilling and then life happened and that sisterhood was so strong that this was the woman that told me to dance at times, that told me to eat at times, that told me, okay, sis, it's time for you to mourn, right? The loss of my mom, and then being able to hear aside her and the other. All right, we ain't giving y'all everything because y'all ain't gonna buy the book.
All the pages now.
Y'all got to buy the book. That's what we doing.
Hey, I like it though. I love it. I love it. You know what? So we're getting 2 for 1, two people for one in one book. So that's awesome. I like that. I like that a lot. Well, I tell you, man, you all are some awesome women. And we appreciate you being here on Prolific. And to all of our listeners, we appreciate you for appreciating us. and that's how I, believe it or not, that's how I ended. I always say, I appreciate you for appreciating us. Be well. And that's it. And that's how I end my stuff. So that's how I go. That's, I keep my stuff simple. I appreciate that. Prolific Radio.
I love it. Thank you so much. I've just experienced the prolificness of it all.
That's it.
And thank you so much for jumping on in there with me with that mic toss. I use a natural. This is what we do.
Yes, it is.
So I had no doubt in my mind that you would not only handle that, but handle that very well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you.
So look, I'm looking at the time. And Lord, time truly does fly when you are having fun. And tonight, I'm smiling a lot tonight. We're having a lot of fun. But we also got to remember that we are purpose and goal oriented here at Unhinged Live. Thank you for that awesome compliment and recognizing that, yes, we are indeed amazing women. And I bring that in to segue the next segment of tonight's show. Y'all know, somebody told me I looked a little slim a couple days ago, and I was like, where about now? Because I've been eating. But here's the deal. They don't realize that God was using them in that very moment, that I have been a little malnourished in certain areas of my life, because y'all know I'm greedy. I'm greedy for these nuggets that we are blessed to receive here on Unhinged Live from our very own in-house certified master life coach. Yes, I am talking about my best friend, Jaw. I am talking about the lovely Karen Sims Harrell of Twisted Threads LLC. She is about to feed me in that missing place in my soul. Why all the prayer and encouraging people go on hiatus in the summertime is beyond me. But I am so grateful. I am so grateful to be here tonight to receive yet another on-time ready word from Coach Cash herself, Karen, Twisted Threads LLC, with this week's reflection of purpose. Coach Cash, go ahead and take it away.
We ready. It's been a little while, but listen, y'all, even if you don't hear from me, you know that there is something special that's happening every single day with the exchange. And y'all know I always come to you with the title for your reflections of purpose. Today's title is The Exchange. And so something very special that I had the opportunity to do this weekend, and that was sit down somewhere, right? This ain't about you sitting down somewhere. We're going to go somewhere really quickly. And it's about the exchange, that when we get the moment to take time to build clarity and focus into our life, into our everyday, making space for what it is that we've told God, Lord, I really want you to do this thing, or Lord, I'd really like to do this. Or maybe you not praying at all. You like, I'm just about to buy the block. Okay, that's the conversation that I have. But with those things, there's something that is needed that some of us sometimes don't make a priority. And today, I want to remind you, make the exchange your priority. The exchange for when things get heavy. The exchange for how to go so far and then sit down and rest. The exchange for you to have people around you who are going to encourage you in your gift. Many of us operate in our gift to the point of exhaustion, and then we can't even celebrate because we did too much. We've got to make sure that we are creating strategy around the dreams. I give you permission if you need it, but I also encourage you, dream out loud with those special people in your world who you need to put words out into the atmosphere so that they can take root into the universe and manifest themselves in your life. It cannot get there if you hold it bottled in. And the saddest thing would be for you to have your last day on earth and your dreams not even be fulfilled because you never shared them. You never tried to push forward. You never made the exchange from moving from a small idea and a seed to see it grow into a very tall tree. Y'all know, as always, we try to give you and feed you nuggets so that it'll keep you going, but also so that you're motivated, not just to hear about our story, but to know you are the blueprint of your own story. You're the writer. Your story is being written. Your chronicles are being recorded right now in this moment. And so we want to encourage you. We want to also encourage you, get those people who, when you are on empty, I know I could call Tilted and say, listen, I'm a little empty right now. You're going to have to do something. And we've had actual conversation where it's like, I'm feeling a little petty, right? I need some positivity in my life so that we can erase a little bit. It's still going to be there, okay? But we could erase a little bit of that and build up that positivity that's needed until it comes bubbling up. Y'all heard us talk about that combustible prayer. Well, sometimes you need that combustible encouragement for people who know you just enough, who they know just enough about you to be like, oh yeah, y'all gonna be great. Oh yeah, that's gonna be fine. Oh girl, you is the bomb. You is kind, you is special, and you is important. We watch Viola Davis tell that little girl that, and all of us grabbed a hold of that. Why? Because it fed us in our very shanana. I want to remind you today, your reflections of purpose is take time for the exchange, because we've got greater gifts to build, greater skills to lift. And why? If y'all don't know by now, I'm going to tell you again. I'm here for the cake, and I can't get to the cake until you get to the gold. You know, your favorite gold digger, Coach Cash, is here to remind you, keep going, take the rest when you need to, but for sure, don't quit, because there's greatness inside of you that is here for the world to see. We love y'all. Tilted, that's your reflections of purpose. Handing it back to you.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so very, very much. I'm sorry, I'm reeling because I got to adjust after ingesting all of that. Whew.
You got to stretch your pants on. You got to stretch.
Girl, I do, because part of that training I had to be mobile, so I needed to be comfortable. But check it out. I'm looking at the time, and there's a couple little things I want to do here. I got to throw a monkey wrench in everything, because that's just who I am. Of course, I'm gonna get into that just be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get into that just be on this evening. And with everything that's been going on in the world, I always do my best to practice kindness as often as I can. And it will be very easy for me to sit here and say, just be kind. And I've talked about that before. But sometimes in that kindness, there lies generosity. So tonight, I would encourage you all to just be generous as best you can when the opportunity presents itself. Now, a lot of people, when they hear the word generous, they immediately go to money, and like I said, I mentioned this already. We are in some trying economic times. I don't know too many people who aren't just readjusting even their grocery list week after week to make sure that the family has everything that they need to continue to go forth with the proper amount of food energy for their bodies. I'm not talking about the money that you would take out of your pocket, because sometimes, as many of us already know and have experienced, the best things in life are free. So tonight, I'm encouraging you to be generous with what you carry in your spiritual fruit basket, because many of you all I've encountered face to face, one-on-one, and you have so much kindness to share. You have so much peace to share. Share it generously, because what happens when you are generous with these different forms of kindness, baby, that dopamine rush, that endorphin hit that you receive from putting a smile on somebody else's face, encouraging them with just your spoken self. Speak a word of kindness. Just be generous with those kind words. I posted it a couple weeks back. People are looking for kindness, and it costs you nothing to be kind. Again, people out here talking crazy. It's a whole lot of delusion running amok, and people are filling the atmosphere with the words of their mouth, not realizing that with every word that comes out of your mouth, you legitimately are emitting a mist, and you are saturating the atmosphere with a different type of energy that many of us truly don't want anything to do with it, or we don't want no parts of it. So again, watch your words. Combat evil with good. Speak the reminders to yourself. Your own personal testimonies. When you feel a little bit afraid, remind yourself audibly with the words that you allow to come out of your mouth. God healed me already. God provided for me already. God allowed me to get up here on this here screen and encourage thousands that I will probably never see. But I'm changing things one syllable at a time with the words that come out of my mouth. And you know that this has a scriptural base to it, y'all, because we love the Lord over here. I am absolutely paper Bible saved over around these parts. And it is out of the abundance of the heart that the mouth does speak. So I know what you've been reading on your news feeds because it's coming out of your mouth. That's what's the abundance of your heart. So make sure you take the time to utilize some of the functions that are now readily available to you at your fingertips. If you see something coming down that news feed, that timeline, that Snap, that IG, that TikTok, that disturbs your peace, go on and put it on Do Not Disturb. If even for a simple season, to make sure that you don't intake so much negativity that you would outpour it and stunt your own growth and progress by the words that are coming out of your mouth. You really do create the world that you live in with everything that you say. So I'm going to go back and remind you to be generous with the gifts, your spiritual fruit that you have in your basket, often referred to as a spiritual cornucopia myself. It is your girl, Tilted Halo, coming at you, encouraging you once again to just be. And I'm looking at the clock. I don't even know how I did that. That was the Lord. That was the Lord. That was not
right
me.
on time, right on time.
Yeah, just a reminder, because block ain't strong. I don't even need to see that. We're going to scroll on. That's what we're getting ready to do. That's what we're getting ready to do. We are going to be the change we want to see in these here confusing states of America. I think it's confused state of America. All right. So as we listen, we got the power and took my boy out of the screen again, but we know he is still there because I see a glimmer of his light even in the darkness. So as we end tonight's show, like I said, I want to go ahead and throw a little different spin of things. Y'all know we like to feature music here on the show every now and again. And I did not want to break up the conversation tonight. We like to try new things because remember, it's our show. We can do what we want to do. So thank you all for tuning in. This is Unhinged Live. I'm your host, Nikita Tilted Halo Hansford, sitting alongside my very good girlfriend, Karen Sims Harrell of Twisted Threads, LLC. And I want to take this opportunity as we proceed to leave y'all with a little bit of a groove you need. Thank you, Alfonsa, Todd, the Artist Foundation. And thank you to all of our replay viewers for catching the show. Once again, you like what you heard? You like what you see? Go and tell a friend. Like, subscribe. We are Unhinged Live. And I think this will play for me. This fashion killer, we leave it, but I want to hear some music. See how that go?
Fashion killer. Yeah, showed up, big vibe, showing up. New York, stand up, certified fashion killer, fashion killer. It's 7 p.m. Friday, my natural glorilla. Feel bossed up when I wake up. No heartbreak, just to make up. I'm in my duffel, time to get this cake up. Like a type of foundation can't make us. Stay on your own path, it's a one-way. Only U-turns get made on the runway. No talking fly unless the plane's on runways. I got big dreams to chase and never run away. If you got big dreams, chase them, never run away. Hey, back it up, back it up. Slide through, they start acting up. eat your heart out, snack it up. Get your money, stack it up. Run it up, stack it up. Slow motion versus no motion, you still not moving fast enough. Certified fashion killer, fashion killer, it's 7 p.m. Friday, my natural glorilla, feel bossed up when I wake up, no heartbreak just to make up. I'm in my duffel, time to get this cake up, like a type of foundation can't make up. Tags get popped, they supposed to. Big bags when I shop, I could coach you. Moving silence, a boss, not boastful. Watch them raise up a glass when they toast you. Can you help me? I'm too drip right now to take a selfie. Catch the whole fit, my aura healthy. I'm not trying to get rich, let's be wealthy. Let's be wealthy. Back it up, back it up. Slide through, they start acting up. Walk, stop, pose, vogue. Eat your heart out, snack it up. Get your money, stack it up. Stack it up. Slow motion versus no motion, you still not moving fast enough. Certified fashion killer, fashion killer. It's 7 p.m. Friday, my natural glorilla. Feel bossed up when I wake up. No heartbreak just to make up. I'm in my duffel, time to get this cake up. Like a type of foundation can't make up. Like a type of foundation can't make up. Like a type of foundation can't make up. Fashion killer.
Can't make it up, can't make it up. Like a type of foundation can't make up. Like a type of foundation can't make up.
Just like you and me. Don't last. As she stands there, singing from money, la la. As she stands there, singing from money, la la. As she stands there, singing from money, la la. As she stands there, singing from money.
Hey, that's a wrap. We'll see you next week. Night, y'all.